From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, May 20th. It's going to be another cloudy and cool day with highs in the lower 60s. A few sprinkles will be possible with lows tonight dipping into the lower 50s. The Indianapolis Department of Public Works is getting ready to shut down part of 5 major streets. This is going to be a big change for all of us. The closures include part of Monument Circle, Mass Ave, Georgia and Illinois streets, and Broad Ripple Avenue. The closures are part of the county's plan to make some more space for outdoor seating at the restaurants when they can reopen Friday at 50% capacity. The DPW crews are already at work making sure barriers and signage are up. Mass Ave will be closed from the intersection at College Avenue to the intersection with New York and Delaware streets. Georgia Street will be closed between Pennsylvania and Illinois streets. Illinois will be closed from Georgia to Market streets. And then on Broad Ripple Avenue, it will shut down to traffic between College Avenue and the Monon Trail. The Marion County Health Department says outdoor seating can begin Friday with all of those proper social distancing requirements. Again, 50% capacity. Obviously, there are many restaurants that don't fall into those areas, like Iria's Italian restaurant. It's just outside the downtown area. If you haven't been there, you gotta get some food there. It's amazing. It's an Italian staple in the community, a fixture for more than 100 years. Since Iria's isn't in that expansion district, any of those, they're now applying for a permit to expand into their massive parking lot or the sidewalk nearby. Once that's complete, the next thing to figure out will be setting up a dining area with social distancing in place and obviously hope it doesn't rain. That's for all of these restaurants. City leaders have created a new webpage to help restaurants authorize any expansions they have in mind. You can apply now. You must apply before Friday, and there's no permit fee for the applicants. As far as Iria's is concerned, I highly recommend getting the tortellini with meatballs. It's out of this world. All right, a new coronavirus testing site opens in Indianapolis. The county's health department announced one is setting up at Warren Central High School. The department says testing is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Testing is free for people who are eligible. You must make an appointment. Anyone who is symptomatic can get tested. People who are 65 or older, immunocompromised, or a frontline essential worker can as well. All right, here's some new research, and it's actually going to help calm your nerves, hopefully, about the coronavirus. The reports of people testing positive again weeks after they've recovered. We're learning a little bit more about this. Scientists in South Korea now say those people are not getting the disease twice. They say that a lot of the people who test positive for the coronavirus after they're no longer feeling sick are actually shedding non-infectious or dead virus particles. These patients are now being called re-positive. An article published by Fortune says the Korean Centers for Disease Control and Prevention studied 285 COVID-19 survivors, none of whom were found to have spread any lingering infection. So this changes the way health officials in South Korea view people who've recovered from the illness. They will no longer be considered infectious or have to test negative for the virus before they go back to work or school. As soon as they have recovered from their illness and finished their period of isolation, they are allowed to return to normal activities. Researchers say tests for the coronavirus's nucleic acid cannot tell the difference between dead and live virus particles. This could potentially give the wrong impression that someone who tests positive is still infectious. Researchers say some patients have tested positive a second time 82 days after first becoming infected. And in nearly every case where blood tests were taken, people had antibodies against the virus. Doctors warn that children who may have multi-system inflammatory syndrome will need immediate medical attention and that hospitalization is likely. We've been reporting extensively on this serious illness. It's similar to Kawasaki disease linked to COVID-19. Symptoms include stomach pain, vomiting, fever, maybe a rash. Tests for inflammation and heart damage can show if children need to be hospitalized. State health officials say there has been one case of this in Indiana. We've told you about that. You can find much more all about this virus on wishtv.com. Pier 1 says it will go out of business and close all of its stores. Man, at one time, such a popular furnishing business destination. The company filed for bankruptcy in February, shuttering all of its stores in March because of the pandemic, now saying it will only reopen them long enough to sell everything off. Pier 1 has 540 stores, including several in central and northern Indiana. More federal help is headed to farmers hit by the pandemic. They can apply for money from the new Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, or CFAP. It's a $19 billion measure through the Department of Agriculture. Farmers can apply if they've suffered a price hit of 5% or more or faced supply chain disruptions because of the virus. They'll get one CFAP payment. The USDA starts accepting applications next Tuesday, May 26th. The Belmont Stakes is going to kick off the Triple Crown this year for the first time ever. The horse race will now take place on June 20th. The New York Racing Association announced that the event will take place without spectators there. It will be run also at 1 1/8 miles instead of the usual 1.5 miles. That is a big change. Typically, the Belmont has been the longest race that really tests the endurance of these racehorses. So we'll see how this changes up the fleet and see what comes out of this. Of course, this will dramatically change up which horses would be favored for the Belmont Stakes to win. Probably change up some betting strategies, but we shall see. Traditionally, the Belmont Stakes is the third leg of the Triple Crown after the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness Stakes. Both of those races, of course, have been postponed because of the pandemic. All right, coming up tomorrow, here is your warning. Don't miss the Indy 500 postponed sports special here on Wish TV tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. We're going to take a look ahead at the month of August and talk to drivers and others about the historic change of plans. Again, that is right here on Wish TV. Don't miss it. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.